better than any other movie I've ever seen. And the strange thing about that is that this movie, by most people, is considered probably one of the most romantic movies ever made. But this movie became the movie of terror for me because of my big high school crush. And this crush came into my life when I was a junior in high school, my first week of junior year in high school, went into the drama club, and I meet this girl in drama club. Drama club, this is going to set the stage for everything. And she is just, the moment I see her, she's small, she's petite, she's dark eyes, dark hair, dark demeanor. If there were goths back in the 70s, she would have been a goth. She probably invented goth. And I'm just like, and I'm this total like pencil neck geek guy, but I just like fell for her totally. And she was the only one. I knew right then, she's the one. She's the one I've got to have. And I started almost immediately telling her that. I just came out of me right away. And she's so like, you know, if people, whatever, what did we say in the 70s instead of whatever? I don't know. The 70s equivalent, translate in your head, those of you that are my age, of whatever. But we eventually became friends. We kind of fell into the same circle of friends. And we were good friends, and she was a great friend to me, but I wanted it to be so much more than that. And, you know, every possible way, I was leaving notes in her locker, I was leaving notes in her books, I was leaving notes on her seat at different classes. I think I invented annoying texting 20 years before it came about. I wanted her so bad, but she tried to make it clear to me that that was not going to happen. She loved me as a friend, but it was not going to be what I wanted it to be. Until that day, about a year later, my persistence, I keep going, keep at this, keep telling her this over and over, when she said yes. Now all I heard was yes. I mean, this was not yes like yes for all eternity, yes we're together, yes we're meant to be together. What she said yes to was another couple in our group, little group of friends, was going to go to the local art cinema and see this classy movie, and they wanted somebody to come with them, and you know, they said, hey, Mark, Karen, you want to come with us? And I said yes, and she said yes, so I put that together, that she was saying yes to me, and it was a date, and it was so important, a date. Now, I don't think she was thinking date at that time, but I had taken date, put it in the envelope, sealed it, put the stamp on it, and sent it registered insured mail. I was, you know, so sure that this was the date thing happening. So we get to the movie theater, and the movie's on, and like I said, it's incredibly romantic, and you know, just oh my gosh, all this, you know, unrequited love, and then they separate, and then they're back together, and you know, it's all coming, you know. And then our friends that took us along, Hudson and Colette, they've been going together for months, and they're really into each other. I mean, into each other, like literally into each other. You know, Colette's disappeared somewhere. She's somewhere under Hudson, somewhere over there. So I think it's like the atmosphere is all around. The magic is happening. And so, you know, this is the thing. You know, I do it. She's got her hand sort of up on the mutual armrest, and I start sliding my fingers along toward it. And finally, I just make contact, just with the back of her wrist. And pow! She just like, she snaps like somebody, the warden just turned a switch on in the electric chair, and her hand jerks back like a turtle going into its shell, and it goes in her lap, and I thought, oh, I scared her, I shocked her, okay, get in there, just calm down, just be a little more suave, a little more sophisticated. So I said, you gotta come up with something really original here. Yeah! So original. And, you know, the arm goes down around the back of the wrist, and it's there for 30 seconds, and then it starts moving down, and down, and down. And I swear to God, I never touched her. The barely formed arm hair on my arm at that age of 16, I think made contact with a few of the outlying fibers sticking out of her sweater. And pow! She bolts forward like somebody going into the crash position of an airliner that's plunging from the sky. And suddenly it hit me. It hit me like I'm now strapped to the ground with that airliner that she's crashing and coming straight down at me. That I had totally misread this. She did not want to be in with me in that way. This was not a date. I was not on a date with her, and I had so embarrassed myself, and I'm just covered in embarrassment sauce dripping down over me and falling off the end of my nose, and I could feel embarrassment sauce going down into my pants. And I just wanted it to end. I wanted it to be over. Well, thankfully, to the watch, we're about 90 minutes into the movie. The Everything's winding down. The music is swelling. The lovers have gotten back together. Everything is happy. This is the words of my deliverance. We're right up there, but we're coming right up before me. The music builds to a huge crescendo. The screen goes black, and there are the words of my deliverance. The intermission. Inter-fucking-mission. When does a movie have an intermission? Some of you might be old enough to remember it. The movie was Dr. Zhivago, and those theatrical releases. Hour and a half, you were just getting started. So at that moment I knew that every one of you probably at some point in your life has encountered the thing that you know, if there was a hell, this is what it would be for me. And for me it would be forever seated next to a person who doesn't love me and who's never going to love me. And it's the end of the first half of Dr. Zhivago, and it's always going to be intermission for all eternity. But sometimes, we did survive that night. We got home, we survived it. Sometimes survivors turn into winners, and survivors turn into victors, not just on reality TV shows. And so now, 32 years later, that dream girl is my best friend, my lover, my wife of 32 years. And we have sat through an entire performance of Dr. Zhivago with my arm tightly around